Jesus is not the original name. That's just how it was coined by people who spoke a different language. Or than
That's
we
true.
do.
That's true.
So, and like Albert said, his people also called Jesus Yesu. And that's not uncommon for most of sub-Saharan Africa, amongst the people who you would call Bantu. Even though in West Africa we don't call ourselves Bantu, but we know that we are the same people. Because you can see it in our customs, you can see it in our foods, and even there are a lot of linguistic relation between us. So, so we broadly use that name Yesu to refer to Jesus, and one would simply assume that it was brought to us by the missionaries. Well, the missionaries weren't exactly saying Yesu, with the exception of, we'll say, the Portuguese. The Portuguese used it, but the Germans, we were colonized by Portuguese, Germans, Danes, British, French, you name it. They were all, there. And they didn't use Yesu. And they actually, the others, aside from the Portuguese, did more of missionary work within Africa than the Portuguese. So if we inherited the name from anybody, we should be calling the same names that, let's say, the Bremen Missionary Church used, right? Or the Basil Missionary Organization used, right? Which is Jesus, but that's not the name that is indigenous to us. The name that's indigenous to us is Yesu, and that's because it's actually ancient Hebrew. In my language, we know that my language is ancient Hebrew. I've been teaching on this for a long time. And that's not to say other sub-Saharan African Hebraic languages are not ancient Hebrews. If we understand languages, we know that there are languages and there are dialects. There are variations of languages. So our brothers and sisters also speak ancient Hebrew. We all speak different dialects of ancient Hebrew. So in my ancient Hebrew tongue, which is called Ewe or Ebegbe, Yesu simply means I am sufficient. I am sufficient. And let your mind stay within the context of the Bible and the Most High. So, what is that communicating to us? It's communicating to us that the Most High, God, is sufficient. You don't, for a people who have delved so deeply in idol worship, I will say it plainly, all of us have delved deeply in either idol worship or ancestral worship. For Yesu to come and declare boldly that Yah is sufficient. The Ye stands, it's a personal pronoun, I, but it also stands for the name of Yah. It's an abbreviation of the name of Yah. So for that name to boldly declare to us that I am sufficient, that should tell us that we don't need any other God, right? Any other deity, because the Most High is sufficient for us. Now, you would say, okay, well, Yesu wasn't in the biblical Hebrew. They didn't write it. We have to remember that before there was anything like biblical Hebrew, there was oral tradition. This is how we pass on information within our African Hebraic context. It's through oral tradition. And oral tradition is not the telephone game. The information is not going to be lost after several decades or centenaries or millennia, because there is a genius behind how the story is packaged in oral tradition. And that genius is preserving the stories in the names.